Be strong.
Howdy everyone, welcome back. I'm Jim, this is JimKiDo. I wanted to go over a concept that I briefly touched upon in a previous episode here, and that was how to deal with the inventory menu and control panel. For everything that's on a base, you will potentially see, when you go into the inventory of something, you will see this kind of screen on the left side. This is your own personal. When you see the helmeted area up above highlighted, that's your own personal. Now, it's kind of confusing because you see the helmeted icon on the right side also highlighted, but you'll see in the active filter area it says character. But in reality, what you're looking at is the item that you just clicked on. So the item that you click on is going to be on the right. Your inventory is going to be on the left. Now, if you click down on the left and right movement stalks, you'll see that the selecting icons and therefore the filters will change. And then same thing on the right side. So left stick will allow you to navigate through the different choices, and then the right side will also allow you to do the same. But the right side is always what you clicked on, and the left side is either your own personal inventory or the inventory in which, let's say you were in a vehicle, then it would be that the inventory of that vehicle. Here we have the right side. Let's say I want to transfer the iron that I have in my inventory, and I want to put it in this cargo container. But let's say I'm not actually nearby this cargo container. I can actually use the conveyor system to transport. So if I click on this and then push down on the right movement stalk, I can now navigate between the survival kit, the small cargo container, and the O2H2 generator. Here we have the iron that was put into the cargo container earlier. So that's a volume of 397. And here we have a volume of 134. So because I'm actually switching between the different sides with the directional keys, I can switch between the two like this. But if you consider where the highlight is as a cursor, whatever was highlighted on the left side, if I go to the right side, that's where that will go. Let's see if I can put it in another way. Because I have the O2H2 generator was the last place I had selected on the right side. If I move to the left side and try and click, it's going to try and apply the iron to the O2H2 generator. But it's not going to work because the O2H2 generator doesn't actually accept iron. It only accepts ice and bottles. So if I click on this with the A button, nothing's going to happen. You hear it selecting and trying to move, but it won't. But if I instead navigate down where the small cargo was selected and then hit the direction arrow back across again to this side, now it will actually freely move over to the cargo container. There. So now it has moved and increased. This is the basics for moving objects back and forth. It's also how you would move one object from one item on a conveyor to another. So here, if I press down on the left stalk and go down to this area, so I go down to the spawn kit, or to the survival kit. If I switch over to here, now the small cargo container is selected. Now if I come back and I click on this, let's see. I see what's happening. Okay, so what's happening here is the survival kit is automatically drawing up as much stone as it can, because its job is to accept stone so that it can go off and generate resources off that stone. Now I can also switch between sides with the left stick. If I move the right stick back and forth, it doesn't do anything. But if I move the left stick back and forth, I can actually switch between the two sides and actually navigate across the entire menu like this. But this makes it really easy to switch between the two. Now I can navigate the highlighted menu area up and down with the right stick and make it a little bit easier to see. This is what you would probably use your mouse wheel to help you navigate to see where things are. But you would still have to go through and move things like you would on a keyboard. You're actually moving it with the arrows on the keyboard. Now what's happening here is when I try and move the stone over to the small cargo container, it's automatically picking it back up and moving it back into the survival kit. Now, if I had, I think, so 1,000 liters, I think that's about 8,000 kilograms worth of stone. It depends. There are settings within a game that can actually dictate a smaller or larger default size on some of these, some of these containers, like the spawn kit or the cargo containers, or even your own personal inventory. We can get into that detail at another point, but I just wanted to show you that this is how you go through and navigate between these. Now, if I hit my right trigger, I can switch over to the control panel. Now, what we're seeing is all of the components and grid blocks installed on this grid, which is conveniently named starting platform. That is everything on this asteroid, essentially. If it's attached to this asteroid, then it is essentially a part of a grid known as starting platform. If I come into here, I can see starting platform. If I keep on going over and get info, I'll actually get specific grid info listed on the left side. And I can even come back over here and rename it if I wanted to. What's interesting is if I installed a antenna here, the default of what it would show on the antenna would be the grid name unless I otherwise told it to show something else. That's just a little inside detail on how the naming structure works. So everything basically works off of a grid. Now, a grid is just an install point, and that's what this is, one big install point. Let me go heal back up real quick. gosh, this is so slow. I'm going to have to upgrade this because this is just a bit too much for me. Alright, there we go. The whole point of how the conveyor system and the grid system ends up working is you can see from a control panel view, you can see everything that's installed. So there's the 3 solar panels, there's all the different button panels, there's a survival kit, the small cargo container, that's the beacon, but it's been renamed as platform. So you can see over here on the right side, there's the type. And that's your best understanding of what these are, regardless of what the names are. So there's landing gear. So we got interior lights. There's the gravity generator. We've got a couple batteries. All right. Current stored power. So these are full batteries. And that's great. And that's how the grid system effectively operates. And that's also how the conveyor system effectively operates and allows you to transition resources from one location on a base to another. Another way we could do this is we will make, let's see, do I have any? No, I don't have any. Let's see what we have here. We're going to grab this. And we're going to make so there's the makings of a conveyor. And then we're going to create another cargo container. And we're going to reorient it. There. Now we're going to pick this up. Alright, so all we have were the interior plates. But those are the main pieces for these 2 components to actually create. Now, I've just added them both to my build planner. You can see them down there on the right side. I'll come over here, hit this button. Good, I had enough. There we go. So, good. We have a new section of conveyor and a new cargo container. So what I'd like to do is take items from this cargo container and put it into this one. Now this one has the name of small cargo container 2. Not overly complex. So like I said, we have the small cargo container here, and now I need to go and find the other cargo container, and there it is. And what I would like to do is I'm going to move all the tools over there. Because that was the last place I had selected on the left side, when I moved over here, that now allowed me to move those back and forth. There. Now, all the tools are separated. And I can have any number of these cargo containers helping me organize components, resources, tools, ammunition, etc. And that's the basics of how the conveyor system works and how the inventory menu system works. So I hope you found that helpful. Definitely leave your comments down below. If this is the kind of content you find interesting or helpful, please let me know. If there are other things that you'd prefer that I focus on, more than happy to go over those. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for notifications. I definitely appreciate your attention to all this, and remember, stay safe out there.